I got to turn to, well, sort of a Shapiro in training, maybe a wannabe, similar, sort of very, oh God, what is the word? Just the unhappiness in this gentleman's voice. That gentleman is Glenn Greenwald, fall from grace, one-time hero, one-hit wonder with the Edward Snowden leak, who really took to Twitter and specifically his own Substack to defend Tucker Carlson and the links that people are making between Tucker Carlson's rhetoric and this mass shooter rhetoric, and how dare we? And that is just, it's everyone scoring political points when you point out the obvious, right? So he writes on his Substack, there have been a large number of murders and other atrocities carried out in the United States and West generally in the name of right-wing ideologues, in the name of white supremacy, in the name of white nationalism. Sorry, I gotta swallow the spit. The difference though is glaring when murders are carried out in the name of liberal ideology. There's a rational and restrained refusal to blame liberal pundits and politicians who advocate the ideology that animated those killings. Yet when the killings are carried out in the name of right-wing ideologies despised by the corporate press and mainstream pundits, or ideologies that they falsely associate with conservatism, they instantly leap to lay blame at the feet of conservative political opponents who, despite never having advocated or implied the need for violence, are nonetheless accused of bearing guilt for the violence, often before anything is known about the killers or their motives. In other words, please have me back on, Tucker. I would never say anything bad about you.
Is it that, or is it the overactive saliva glands that distract him from doing like decent research into this issue? No, but look, I think you're right about Tucker Carlson wanting to remain, friendly with him to keep going on his show. But I fell down the rabbit hole last night of really reading about Glenn Greenwald's past, which I had heard about, which I knew about, but I wanted to really know the details of his history of serving as a lawyer for a white supremacist who was a leader of an organization, by the way, a Nazi organization in the country that carried out insane acts of violence, similar to what the Buffalo shooter has carried out. He's got that history, and for a brief moment, he went from being being very supportive of like the war in Iraq, to then suddenly switching over to someone who really wants to fight for and maintain civil liberties. And I think he's just going back to his roots. And it was a hard pill for me to swallow as someone who didn't know about his past previously and really admired Glenn Greenwald when he was doing decent reporting, whether it's Edward Snowden. There's one other example, which is the Jair Bolsonaro reporting that he did for Brazil. But those are the only two issues. And he used to say the right things during the Bush era and during the Obama era when it came to our privacy rights, our civil liberty rights. But if you look at his work now and think, oh wow, he really fell off, like what's going on? He's really different now. Fact of the matter is, he's just going back to his roots. And if you want to learn more about that, look into his defense, serving as a defense attorney for Matthew Hale, who was a Nazi.
But also, like, the substance just isn't there in anything he's saying right now. Like, you're totally right in terms of, like, I guess that's what it takes to do a Substack now. What violence? What are you talking about? What kinds of so-called left-wing imaginary violence is this person continuing to triple down, double down? We're constantly told of the violence of the left. Where? God, I haven't seen it. I've seen mass uprisings, marching in the street, people asking to not be shot. And those people are then met with tear gas. But we've also seen, a right-wing inspired riot on the Capitol building. So I'm not really sure what we're talking about anymore here. And by the way, this is just really fun. It's a little button before we break. Glenn says, the claim that Carlson ever remotely said anything like this or just believes this is an outright lie. This is great replacement theory. Indeed, with great frequency, Carlson says that the priority of the US government should be the protection and concern for American citizens of all races. There's no racial hierarchy in Carlson's view of American citizenship, and to claim that there is nothing short of a defamatory lie. We've all heard him refer to immigrants as dirty. We've all heard him refer to, that's what the great replacement theory is. replacing Americans with lesser Americans, quote unquote. And the last thing I'll say on Glenn Greenwald is I think this is what happens when you conflate, he knows he's doing this, neoliberalism, which is obviously unfettered capitalism, corporate greed, oligarchy, with liberalism, which is ideas of democracy and freedom and civil rights for all people, women, LGBTQ plus people, people of color, immigrants, human rights. Don't get those twisted. He's trying to convince folks that liberal ideology is what led us here. It's exactly what Tucker Carlson and his homeboy Viktor Orban over in Hungary is doing. That liberalism is dead. Why give people rights? Just make sure the white man's on top.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.